Hey there, my name is Flicker, and I'm gonna go through all of these videos on wandering aviary, or at least what it used to look like, because I can't find a way to get to the actual old map, and I think I would have really enjoyed exploring it. Seeing the intention, the openness to freedom, and whatnot. We're not gonna have the actual audio, because, well, I don't need copyright bullshit. Uh, this feels like a version of the aviary that had the idea of life built into it already. Like it had existed for a long, long time and was repurposed into life again. But they probably toned back on it, because let's be real, the themes and imagery and symbolism in Sky is generally softer in design structure. Anything that's sharp or hard angles tends to implicate with the past or the ruins left behind by the Golden Wasteland, which would probably be associated with both with the beginning, middle, and end of the Golden Age, of which we exist after. We, in game context, we probably exist long after the end of it, and the only context we get is the end of it, because that's where we originate from in Season of Embers. One half of us originates from the streets. I'm thinking the other half of us originates from royalty. Some child that someone tries to protect. Who knows? Definitely more in line with the themes of Journey and the amount of space shown. Alright. That is a video to watch another time. This original opening area for it. Let alone the concept art. It's beautiful. Oh. I'd say if they had incorporated the current aviary's design into part with this aviary's design, then you could have had the best of both worlds. The center shops on either side available for player interaction and immersion. The core portals positioned either close to front or further back, depending on where you wanted to spawn in at. And all that space to roam and explore and express yourself. Now the current aviary just feels like a diminished chunk of the original idea. I can see how they preserved a little bit of the original idea in there. It's not the same. Also, was the land nearly shaped like a giant heart? Because that would have been absolutely beautiful. I wish I could explore this myself. I wish I could explore this myself. Oh. Major credit to each and every video that I watched along this recording. I would not be able to look back at these things without without what you had already created to archive as a part of the time spent in this community before I'd even discovered the game. Major props to the community on so many levels. Hmm. Ooh, percentage based. Interesting. Line of thought from a previous thing, not related to this. Oh. Mm. 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 If only it worked like that. Mm. Now, it would actually be an interesting piece of immersion if, in order to unlock an option for the changing areas, you had to go to each of those shops, and after buying it from the blueprint from the original, from the origin, you could then bring that blueprint to the current shop maker, so that way they would help you make it and have it fit to your character. And then you can hand wave everything else. It would allow for a bit of immersion and also, oh, help anchor it as a point of interaction within the game. Ooh. So that's what everything looked like before. Oh. Yep, yep. Sky beta version build specific. Ah, I miss the old centerpiece. That would have been a nice. Hmm. I definitely miss the areas that the ability to navigate through larger sections and oh. Oh yeah, no, it's a complete package. Water and everything. The aviary is when I joined the game. The actual aviary season. After it was released from beta. or I was joined around that time. Using chibi tricks. Chibi fall. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how all of these ideas evolved over time. That room definitely had its core fundamentals. Oh! Was that the restaurant or... Ooh, they could have done... Yeah, that looks like a restaurant, but it could have also been the entertainment venue and the restaurant packed into one. And so they separated out the ideas based on the collabs and plans they had. I'm glad they decided to go with the smaller space, as it feels more personal and home-like. I can definitely see like an alternative path connecting the current area to like the music hall and whatnot. Well, yeah, they were still really early on in development, so it's not like they had the ideas for each and every shop planned out at that point. Oh, oh, they hadn't. Oh, let me in! Let me in! Oh, that beautiful door. I can understand why they got rid of it, because aesthetically it doesn't fit Sky's open vibes. But not everything in Sky is open, and anything locked off is usually hidden behind like a spiritual wall or something where you need to have interacted with a certain number of spirits. So they've at least got consistent design philosophy running through, trying to make sure it's anchored in the limitations of the environment and kind of aesthetic that it's built in. Because if you add too many modern amenities through too complicated of means, then it just starts beginning to modernize itself over time. Wherein being able to imagine modern ideas expressed in the very core language of the game, both in aesthetic and function, helps to ground it to the universe it's in. Whoa! Out of mind and out of sight. Oh, I wish I could have just flown around and explored all of this. Damn right. Hmm. People definitely like making their own venues for this place, though, in many different areas of the game. Wonder if we'll ever be able to restore the broken tower, and what consequences that will bring. Sanctuary Islands was still... Festival tech will be enabled in the area. That high-ass pillar, I thought it was a watchtower, but no, it's a fucking inner table for two. Damn. It looks so lovely. Wonder what it'll take to be able to bring more resources into the aviary to restore it to this full sense of scale, meaningfully, in a way that encourages players to hang out around it without it having to be tied to game mechanics, to just have it as a nice little area available. Hmm. Oh, they've already compromised on the vision so much. Dun, dun. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, and the darkness plants. Darkness plants. Our coffee table. Can we burn away the darkness plants, please? Oh. They planned for like a really big and grand space here, but then ended up cutting back over time as they saw what players actually used. But this could easily still be within like the reference points and working document as to like the scrap pile that can then be drawn from to create new experiences. Ah, place of refuge, lost to time. Time has swallowed it even more with its embrace it, with how it was embraced, and how it's compacted itself too. In that same way, something was also lost to time. Hmm. Oh well. I guess you could say the game streamlined itself, which makes sense, but still unfortunate. Mm. Pretty much the same as before, just with a different layout. Same quest, same idea, different space. Damn, there were a lot more darkness plants in this version. I mean, if you wanted to escape, you could, but I think you've still got a mission to do. Oh. Mm. Oh, cool. Same thing. I was really hoping they were going to add passages to other areas and have these actual hallways to expand on into. Hmm. Good idea. I'm not one of the players that would actually use that, but for community, for supplementing and nurturing the community of the game, that makes sense. Ooh, NPC interaction, neat. Oh, yoink. Now, if they had included in the season of nesting and the preparation for the carnival. Ooh, this was for the season of shattering, wasn't it? That's just a guess on my part, though. Yep, yep. Now well lit. Ooh, merchant spirits. Hello. Ah, well. Hmm. Or maybe I'm misguessing. Okay, so I wasn't in time for this. Oh, fucker. Placeholders. Oh. I want to go try this soon. I don't think we need the hint right now. I'm gonna check this out later for certain. That sound effect used for the no, no surprises me every time. Face the water. All right. Hmm. And then apparently you need like 4 friends to be able to get this done. I got a candle once. It took hours. It took an hour. Okay. If this still works, I'd love to just get a group together and get some of the get some of the teamwork based missions done. I wish they hadn't packaged a "Do you need help in game" to be solely reliant on Oh, hey, do you need spirits help? Because if you, with the placeholder system they have right now, where they can show other players' relative positions relatively easily without going into detail or matching the servers, then, but just the positions, then why can't you implement that for like a aid system where people are who are sitting for at least like a minute or two in front of an interactable are shown in other worlds as well, so that way people can choose to migrate servers in order to help each other. It would require a minute or two of standing still and doing nothing, but a minute at minimum would at least help make sure the mechanic is easily implemented, easy to discover, and practical, without necessarily making it take more server resources. Because translating player data isn't too difficult, I would imagine. It's when you're trying to do a whole lot of player data at once that it becomes difficult. So if players linger around a certain spot, that can be when you show other players' positions without the details, and you can ask them to like manually server merge. Hmm. You probably want zones of interest where people waiting around to try and get something done are shown, like actively waiting on the objective. Meanwhile, people looking to in on others and make sure that people are able to get through certain obstacles have a larger zone of interaction. So that way they can check in and then either interact or dip. It would help lessen the amount of area you need to cover and would allow for community interactions outside of just the spawn hub area. That's just me. Hmm. My favorite one. Oh. That's oh, whoa, 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 whoa. This pathway system that the old area used to have, if that was at the far back and there was the new system that the current aviary has morphed into near the front, that would allow for both types of players to interact in those regards. Maybe segmenting aviary village such that you've got a specific server for the front half of place, specific server for the back half of things. Hmm. So that would mean the original little island that was just practical enough. Then you would have compacted aviary, which is the current state of things. And then you'd have this grandiose design area where people are just free to fly about and use up the space. But it would have to be like an optional unlock to make sure that it actually feel like it's worth going for, and to make sure that it's not too intensive on server resources. Because the aesthetic here is beautiful. Could serve as a reward for long-time players who have proved that they're willing to stick with the game even if they don't have the money. Oh. And then if you tie it into like the second Two Embers season, oh, that would be such a beautiful evolution. Oh, that's what it used to look like? I can see why they updated it. It's got a much more iconic look to it now. But at the same time, okay, so the scaling has changed with the interactions and whatnot. Ooh, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, if you had three different versions, you could set it up like a reverse candle, wherein the initial starting island can be considered the flame. The current aviary can be considered the length of the candle, and then this other version can be considered the base or the container for it all, which would allow for three different play styles. People who play the game in minimalist and want to just go fast, people who play the game and like a bit of immersion but still need practicality, and then people who play the game and love being like deeply immersed without any of the convenience of the practicalities, which would then give you a way to measure whether or not your user base actually has the time to enjoy those things, which could then be used as a guidance reference point to maybe consider your impacts outside of the game rather than just within it. But that would be me being practical and trying to have run the company as I would want to instead of having to respond to shareholders or deal with like profit margins. Oh well. Oh, krill. This old message system is really cool. I kind of wish it still existed. Oh well. Yeah. No, the comment section, even the comment section itself would definitely enjoy having different scales of a home. Setting up the aviary to be a transport network hub would be beautiful. And then another area outside of the aviary where it's more for grand events or people who want the room to just fly. Season of Flight did that somewhat with the Sky Passage and Airways, but it's not necessarily the same. It's very long area that only lets you travel in like one major direction and gives you no incentive to land on any of the small islands outside of like personal expression. Oh, a good way to implement it would be like have little pieces of lore scattered throughout the larger area. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe create it to be kind of like council area for all the spirits, for all the seasoned spirits you've finished helping, where they can give you advice on ideas, or you can rewatch cutscenes more easily instead of having to fly all the way out to each respective area in order to rewatch those cutscenes. In order to redo the mission, you would have to fly all the way back out to the area. But cutscenes themselves, not so much. It would be like a reminiscence. I assume rainbow candles got converted into ascension candles. Oh. Wow. Hmm. Yeah. The differences are night and day between the current version and the later version and the old version. Ah. Imagine someone recreates Sky in VR chat and just creates the ultimate Sky map where you can go through all the different versions of Sky and through like persistence saves and little details in between worlds to unlock the entire thing. That would be an interesting collaboration. If that Sky game and VR chat were to work together, it would bring both communities right into interaction with each other and bolster both that would do good in some regards, but would also do some harm in other regards. Hmm. Good question, good question. Would it expose others to harm, though? And that's one of the things that they have to consider with any collaborations they do. Oh, joy. Hmm. Adventure Pass as opposed to Season Pass. Interesting. I mean, fair. They were still developing an idea of what Sky was going to be back then, so it makes sense that there's still some parallels to Journey. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Creature quests. Collect the light. Hmm. Ah. Whoa. Whoa. And as usual, they're controlling with the camera. Overbearing to a fault. Ah. Mm. The stylization of early or beta Sky. Shadow the Colossus. Yeah, it feels somewhat connected in that regard, but with a more softer tone. Mm. And that hasn't changed at all. It's definitely iconic enough to keep. Oh, a ritual to gain your wings instead of just finding a scattered fragment of light. I can see why they changed the implementation, but having it be a personal gift bestowed upon by the elders is would actually make it really interesting narratively. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh yeah, the game has been streamlined majorly since the beta. Holy shit. Wow. That's a neat little detail. Damn, hand holding. Hmm, interesting. Together we will replenish the stars. Interesting detail. Another moth. Oh, wow. Oh. This practically feels like a prequel to Sky. Oh, things have definitely gotten compressed. Oh, the feel of this game reminds me of what it was like. The feel of the feel of this version of Sky, the Sky Beta, Sky Light Awaits, feels like the same kind of primordial detail that the cycle had in it. Hmm. Neat. Oh, I'm gonna have to check out that entire playlist later. But for now, you move on. No, more people would come back to the game if the world was in a better place, I think. I have no doubts that the game company that makes this game is just as constrained as we are, though. They may have a larger monetary source and everything, but legally binding contracts are their Achilles heel. Did they become a public company or not? Hmm. Oh, noted. Heck. So making your own thing isn't as free as I thought it was. Hmm. Looks interesting, looks interesting. That looks interesting. If the world's in a better state, I'll have time to watch more videos, but as it stands, the world being in such a shit state leaves me feeling like I don't have the time to watch more videos. Loud. Whoa. Chibi. Nice, nice. Recharging with the clouds. There. Classic sky move. And we are out of bounds! Very limited area. Does that make sense? Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Sky... light... Damn, 11 fucking hours. Noted. This will be something to look through another time, though. With that, I've explored what I can. See you all around. And if any devs watch this, hope you re-sparks some interesting ideas. Bye-bye!